The archaeological site of Nineveh, located on the Tigris River in northern Mesopotamia, is a significant part of the Bible. It was discovered in the mid-1800s and is considered a great city by the Bible. The story of its excavation is Bible-driven, as it was the headquarters of ISIS during 2014 and 2015. The site of Nineveh is an example of how archaeology confirms the reliability of the Bible. Nineveh is described as a great city by Jonah, who was called to preach against it due to its wickedness. In 1820, British agent Claudius Rich explored the ruins of Nineveh, which he described as a long natural hill. The stone wall in one of the many city gates has been exposed through excavation. The massive size of Nineveh matches the descriptions of the city in the Bible, where it describes it as a large city with a population of over 120,000 people. The ruins of Nineveh are surrounded by outer city walls and suburbs, and the sheer size of these ruins matches the descriptions of Nineveh in the Bible. West of the ancient city flows the Tigris River, and within the ruins are two mounds. The smaller but more sacred mound is called Neb Yunis, which in Arabic means the prophet Jonah. This preserves the name of the Israelite prophet in the Bible, who had decided to destroy Nineveh because of the wickedness of the people. Only the over 120,000 people living there knew about this destruction. The Lord had compassion on the people of Nineveh and sent an Israelite prophet, Jonah, to warn them about the destruction of their city. The king and the people repented, and the Lord did not destroy the city, allowing Nineveh to continue in history until later becoming the capital of the Assyrian Empire. On top of the Neb Yunus mound was a mosque that ISIS blew up in 2014. Underneath it were the ruins of a church, which preserved the tradition that these were the ruins of Nineveh. In 1830, British Colonel Robert Taylor found a six-sided prism covered with Coptic writing, known as the Taylor Prism. However, by the mid-1800s, other scholars were identifying other sites as Nineveh. To establish these ruins as Nineveh, evidence had to be found and the site had to be excavated. In 1849, British adventurer Austin Henry Llard decided to put the massive mound of Cunic to the spade, based on the abundance of fragmented surface remains. Llard began his dig at the southwest corner of the mound and hit a row of fired bricks at a depth of about 20 feet. After some more clearing, it became evident that the wall belonged to a monumental building. The largest palace ever excavated began to be unearthed in 1849. Llard determined from the surface material that this would be a good place to dig, and he struck the ruins of the palace complex. Inside the mud brick walls of the palace were slabs of gypsum with carvings of statues, people, gods, and sea-form writing. He dug along the walls for about 2 full miles, revealing the central courtyard and 2 huge human-headed wing bowls guarding the entrance to a monumental hallway. Llard prepared a top plan of the palace he was uncovering and matched it with the site itself. This process has led to the discovery of the ruins of the palace Layard excavated, which are now part of the Assyrian Empire's history. Layard's top plan depicts 3 passages at the front of the central court in the ruins. The most monumental passage was the one in the middle, which led to a monumental hallway that led from the central courtyard to its most important showroom. This hallway was lined with stone reliefs depicting the siege of a single city. Lard's team discovered 2 human-headed wing bowls on either side of the entrance to this passage, which proved to be the beginning of a monumental hallway that led from the palace's central courtyard to its most important showroom. The walls of this room at the end of the hall were lined with stone reliefs depicting the siege of a single city. The question Llard wanted to know was what important city this was, and to which Assyrian king did the palace belong. The original stone reliefs from this room are on display in the British Museum in London, where they have recreated the showroom. The name Sakab, found in the Bible as the name of the Assyrian king whose capital is Nineveh, was known with certainty. With the finding and translation of this inscription and other inscriptions found in this excavation, it was known that the ruins across the Tigris River from Mosul were Nineveh, and the building that Layard was excavating was the Palace of Sakharis. The main showroom off the main courtyard, pointing like a telescope, depicted the city of lakes as the second most important city in the Kingdom of Judah. This was surprising, because they were expecting it to be a much more important city than the capital of Judah, which is Jerusalem. The Bible records a significant event in the history of Judah, where King Hezekiah was attacked by Assyria in 701 BC. The Bible mentions that Assyria laid the siege to 46 of his strong cities and countless small villages in their vicinity, capturing them. This event is also recorded in the Bible, with the olive harvest being a metaphor for the Assyrian invasion of Judah. The stone relief at the center of the back wall of the showroom in Saab's palace in Nineveh depicts the siege ramp at lakes. The ramp shows the Assyrians coming up the ramp, along with the huge war machines with battering rams. In 2 Chronicles 32:9, it is mentioned that while Assyria's king, King of Assyria, and his forces were laying siege to Lez, he sent his officers to deliver a message to Hezekiah and the people there. The Bible and Assyrian records come together in this dramatic event. The mound of ruins of Tel Lish, the city the Assyrians attacked in 701 BC, is known as Tel Lish. Since the Bible states that Assyria laid the siege to lakes, it should not come as a surprise that the Assyrian siege ramp was discovered and excavated in 1973 at Lakes. The excavations revealed that the mound was made up of a massive pile of small stones, which was later found to be a large pillar of the city wall. This discovery highlights the dramatic event between the Assyrian and Israelite records in the Bible. The Assyrian siege ramp, extending from ground level to the city wall of Lakes, is depicted in stone pictures from Sabib's palace in Nineveh. This area is where the people of Lakes were fighting for their existence and where the Assyrians with their huge siege engines attacked the city wall. The people of Lakes knew that they had an undefeated record of every single city they had laid siege to, and they felt an incredible amount of doom as they watched the Assyrians set up camp. The Assyrian soldiers would come and throw rocks one at a time until approximately 19,000 tons of rocks were piled up to the base of the city wall. The people were fighting for their very existence, but they were no match for the Assyrians. The Assyrians breached the city wall, burned the city, killed some people, and sent the rest into exile. Nearby, a mass grave had been discovered that contained the remains of over 1,500 people who had been killed in the conflict after capturing Lakes. After the fall of Lakes, the only fortified city left in the kingdom of Judah was the capital, Jerusalem. Sabib's inscription lists out his great accomplishments, including laying siege to Jerusalem, but never mentions capturing it. He puts the city of Lakes in the most predominant place in his palace, which is the city of Lakes. However, according to his own records and the Bible, Sabib never captured Jerusalem, so he has the second most important city in Judah there instead. In summary, the Assyrian army, led by Sabib, systematically destroyed the city of Lakes, causing immense suffering for the people of Lakes. The Assyrians, with their massive siege ramp, were able to capture the city of Lakes, but they did not capture Jerusalem. The city of Lakes is the most prominent city in Sabib's palace, but it is important to note that Sabib never captured Jerusalem. The Bible explains that the destruction of Nineveh, a city in Nineveh, was due to a miracle. The Assyrians attacked all cities in the Assyrian Empire, except for Jerusalem, which was destroyed by the Babylonians and their allies in 612 BC. This event is reflected in the Assyrian records found in the place of Sarib, where Zephaniah prophesied the destruction of Nineveh. The Assyrian records can be compared with the Israelite records in the Bible, particularly the shared event of the Assyrian conquest of Judah. Both records agree on the details and events of what happened, who was in charge of them, and the names of the kings. The biblical record is an extra-biblical record that shows that the Bible talks about real people, places, events, destructions, and deliverances. The metaphor used in Isaiah 24 is used to illustrate the consequences of the destruction of Nineveh. The people of Nineveh, who heard the prophet Jonah's teachings and repented of their wickedness, were spared from the destruction of the whole earth. Jesus sent a sign to the people of Nineveh, an Israelite Messiah, who spent 3 days and nights in the grave. On that third day, Jesus rose from the dead, and if we listen to him and believe in him, we have salvation in his name. In the present world, we are in the same situation as the people of Nineveh in the past. We should strive to be like the people who lived in Nineveh, who heard the prophet Jonah's teachings and repented of their wickedness. By listening to Jesus and believing in him, we can have salvation in his name. The Bible provides a powerful reminder of the consequences of the destruction of Nineveh and the need for compassion and forgiveness. By listening to Jesus and believing in him, we can overcome the challenges and achieve salvation in the name of Jesus. Thank you for watching today. Please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit the like button and turn on notifications for more biblical content. Leave us a comment of your thoughts and anything you are interested in knowing more about. Until next time, God bless.